It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll get to see a pair of teams who fought multiple times in the Super Bowl. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Commanders. And it's all up next.
Not far east from the unmistakable buildings of the nation's capital, we've got a building that's also unmistakable in sight, but bears a new name. Welcome to Northwest Stadium here in Landover, Maryland. Welcome, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward calling this contest for you. And right now, we're putting the secondaries on notice because we have a couple of wide receiver rooms, not just dudes, rooms that can test every level of a defense.
Yeah, it's more than just the headliner, right? We know the top options, but for these offenses, it's the depth at the wide receiver room that's such a big deal. If you overcommit to the biggest playmaker, a couple other players, well, they could hit you down the field just as easily. And with how both offenses love to mix up their routes and looks in the passing game, you better buckle up in the secondary.
Matt Gay now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Northwest Stadium. Return starts from the goal line. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Dolphins offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a proud Samoan and one of your few fellow lefty QBs, Brock, Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua's early career, yeah, it was known for injuries. Maybe not being as durable and as available as you want in a top 10 pick. But the last few years, he's taken great strides to rewrite that narrative. Remember, this was a guy that rewrote the record books in Hawaii, won a national championship at Alabama, and nobody questioned the accuracy of that left arm. It was just the availability, well, that he's had to rewrite, and he's done a heck of a job.
Quick to the air as Tagovailoa gets this one to Waller. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Just one play into this drive, and they're already sitting on their own 45. First down, here's Tua. Waller with the catch. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Opening carry for Devon Achane. And he scampers ahead and gets two on the carry.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They'll stick with Achane. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the first down.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Staying on the ground here with Achane. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They send Hill right. On play action, here's Tagovailoa. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through, and that's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Here's someone from a family of punters, Ryan Stonehouse, on to punt on 4th. Oh, he nearly coffin cornered that one, just a little too far, and it's out of the side of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Commanders will get their turn at an opening drive of the game. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken 2nd in 2024, Jayden Daniels.
Jayden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the 2-time MVP, Jayden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC, and he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Out of the gun, Daniels. Into the hands of Terry McLaurin. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Now Daniels off the play action. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Jordan Brooks comes up with it. And the Dolphins get the football on the first turnover of the contest. He was trying to fit it into a window in the zone coverage, but by the time he let it go, boy, Brock, that lane had closed, and someone was there to make a play on it.
What you're trying to do in zone coverage defensively is make that quarterback see a window that isn't actually there. And as soon as he takes the bait and sends it over the middle, well, you got 1, 2, 3 defenders all there in range to go pick it off.
Now we're going to see the Dolphin offense for their 2nd drive of the contest. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They motion a receiver left. Tagovailoa on 1st down. This one falls incomplete.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing again, here's Tua. This is complete to Waller. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here's a chain up the middle. Jukes one defender. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
1st down, and they go right back to him. He finds some space again. And he did not get in. Finally stopped at the 1. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Achane punches it in for the Miami touchdown. The Dolphins pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Devon Achane with the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even in early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Jason Sanders to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Sanders all set to send it away. Fielded at the 14. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Back out run the Commanders for their 2nd drive of the game. They're coming off their 1st interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Daniels on 1st down. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Robinson on the inside give. And he found some running room for a nice gain. 7 yards on the carry. Now they've got 3rd and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
The Dolphins with an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming. Trying to get it with the option here. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Judging by how the defenders swarmed to the back, I'd say hanging on to it was the right call by the QB. And he was able to take it himself and maneuver his way forward for the 1st down.
New set of downs for him from the 46. First and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Has a man. It's Brown. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Such a terrific job by the receiver. You can't give that route away. You got to run a curl. And the best curl and go, hook and go, out and up guys, Kate, they run that initial route full speed. He did. Got the defense to bite, and the play went right over his head.
An option give to Robinson. And he gets him around 6 there. Minka Fitzpatrick in on the stop. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Kate, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Back now, pressure on its way. That's complete to Zach Ertz. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the 1st quarter. Neither side separating much so far. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Commanders ball as we get back for the 2nd, and they're thinking points. Robinson. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
The nose of the football inside the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. This one's a little touch pass forward to his man coming across. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. A little touch pass here, trying to move the chain. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. Just a 1-yard pickup there. Now a call to make on 4th and goal from the 1.
You know, when receivers have room to operate, that's a play that can totally gash a defense. But, Kate, when you get down here in the red zone, it becomes so much tougher because you have a whole lot less space. And, in fact, you'll see defenses swarm like that one just did.
Up and good from Fairbairn. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Washington now to return. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Dolphins send a running back, Devon Achane, getting back to work. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Now motion him out of the backfield. Has a man, it's Achane. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Second down carry for Achane. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Marshawn Lattimore up from the secondary for the stop. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. They send Hill right. Tua off the play fake. And the Commanders get home. They drop him. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of fourth down.
Hey, God bless the Ted Washingtons, Casey Hamptons, Vince Wilforks, all them run stuffers back in the day. But the D-tackles of today, you not only have to stuff the run, you have to eat up the pass too, and that D-tackle just got it done.
Ryan Stonehouse back out there again to punt it away. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he put just a little too much on this one as it hits in the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense getting set for its next possession. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Play fake here. Daniels. He'll get this one to Brown. The 30. The 10. He makes it in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders need only one to take the lead. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Commanders push their lead to 3. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Washington now to return. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Dolphins returning their offense and this running back to the field. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. 2 now from the gun. He finds Brown right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They strike for 23 yards. And that's going to give the Dolphins a 1st down.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that tight end did.
And that's good for a gain of 5. All down by Dorrance Armstrong. Halfway there on 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook. It's
taken in by Washington. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Hauled down that time by Jonathan Jones. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They motion Waddle over left. 3rd down run from Achane. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Fourth down, and on comes Jason Sanders for the Dolphins field goal. From the right hash, it's a 47-yarder. Aubrey puts it through, and it'll knock this game up late in the 2nd quarter.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Sanders all set to send it away. Returnable from the 1. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Commanders all set to regain possession. And they should be well rested. They were only out there for 1 play last drive, and they found the end zone. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Daniels from the pistol. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they take him down, but there's a flag on the play. And it's as we expected, partner. We call pass interference, so put it at the spot and give him that 1st down. First and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Daniels. He's got Brown on the slant. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. It's the Commanders. Looking at 2nd and 3. From the 37. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders get some late points and the lead. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. Yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Gay to add the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Commanders break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Washington now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Miami set to take over once again on offense. They'll look to knot up this game right now as they trail 17-10. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa gets this one to Waller. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Clock running, Dolphins will hurry to the line. 2nd and 4. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
Throwing on 3rd, Tagovailoa. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Here's Tua again. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. So it's 2nd down coming up.
You know, quarterback's going to count on 99 of 100 times completing that short, simple route to a tight end. But even the shortest and simplest of throws will find a drop at some point, too.
Again, it's Tagovailoa. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. Throwing the out route, complete. And he goes out, just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Ryan Stonehouse on the punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And that kick a little too well struck. He drives it into the end zone for a touchback. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Daniels. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. Now he's past the 25. Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders grow their lead just before halftime. Terry McLaurin with the touchdown. Hope you weren't settled in to call a long drive there, partner, because only took him a matter of seconds to go all 80 yards and hit pay dirt.
Are you kidding me? I love big plays just like everybody in the building loves big plays, and it took all of them. The guys up front doing their job, and certainly the playmakers to finish it.
Gay to add the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders double their lead to 14. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Washington now to return. They'll take over at the 39-yard line. Nice return there. The Dolphin offense taking over late in this half. They still have access to a pair of timeouts and a little time left, too, so points very much still in play here before the half. The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. That one doesn't find its man, incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it's going to be 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Timeout taken by the offense. They're 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Well, last play didn't work out too well. Looks like they're going ground game now. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. The Commanders take a timeout. They're 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. And he's been getting all of it every time out. Getting about 50 yards of boots so far, and here's another quality effort. And another mistake for them here. This punt had way too much on it. It's into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders and Terry McLaurin ready for another look on offense. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Just 25 seconds remaining as they get all set up for 1st down. Daniels has him on the quick hitter. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. It was Tyrell Johnson with the tackle. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Daniels. And that one is incomplete, and the clock stops with 18 seconds to go.
Hey, Kate, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here's Robinson. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. The Dolphins choosing to spend their final timeout here. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. On 4th down, it's the veteran Tress Way who's out for the punt. And this is the first time he's been called on today. And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And hardly any time remaining for them in this game. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's halftime from near the nation's capital. The Commanders pulling in front after 2. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to a fine performance in the first half from the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels. He lit up the skies with 3 first-half touchdown passes as his guys were rolling in the early part of this football game.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Sanders all set to send it away. Return coming from the 14. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game.
Hey, you go into halftime with a double-digit lead, your number one objective, and they'll all say it in that locker room, it's 0-0 to begin the second half. So you want to come out firing the same way you did in that first half, and that kick returner, he took matters in his own hands.
Commanders starting out in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. Has a man, it's Ertz. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Commanders will have a first.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. He gets this one to McLaurin. And he's taken down at the 30. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, Daniels. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Again, Daniels to the air. Escapes the pocket. He'll step up, and there he goes. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Robinson. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
A toss now to Robinson. And he only gets this one down to the 9. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. And the Dolphins in a nickel set for this 3rd down. Throwing from the gun here. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Up and good from Fairbairn. And that makes this a 3-score game.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Return starts from the goal line. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Dolphins offense ready to go as they take the field. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Washington, the motion man here. Second half begins with a run. The ball's out. The ball's out. He lost it. And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery. Ooh, so close to a big play defensively there, Brock. But now these guys got to stay out there. They were unable to bring in the fumble. They just forced.
They do. Got to bring a little bit of juice. But kind of like a boxer when they get a guy cut, they know. Man, if I get that first cut, I can make him bleed. And you get that ball out the first time, I guarantee you, I promise you, those guys are thinking they'll get it the next.
Escapes out to the left. He's running with it. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Okay, that's one of those situations where it's just a double whammy. Number one, you can't afford to give up a possession and waste a possession like that. And number two, to do it so quickly. A 3 and out in that situation. And really, listen, if there is a path to a comeback, and that's a big if right now, it's going to take sustained drives, and a 3 and out just devastating on that possession.
Punting unit out now. And he's been one of the players of this game. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Commanders set to take over. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Commanders starting out in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Daniels now. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks.
Kate, I'm going to call that, even though it looks like nothing on the stat sheet, a win-win for both sides. The defense, well, they rally. They get right to that throw in the flat for a no gain. The offense, well, they just remind that defense, you not only got to cover us vertically, but we're going to stretch you horizontally as well.
Daniels throwing on third. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Brings it in at the 12. He gets him out of the deep part of their half. This is out across the 20. The Dolphins back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Achane. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Achane again on 2nd. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third and a lone yard coming up. Achane again. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. Completed over the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Motioning the tight end left. From the 41. Got Washington, it's complete. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
1st and 10 from the 41. Out of the shotgun, a give to Achane. And he'll get this down to the 40. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Tua. Waller with the catch. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
From the gun on 3rd, Tagovailoa. Complete beyond the marker. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Trying to run it in. Achane. And without much room to work, he has a minimal gain. We'll see them tackle 2nd and goal after the break. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Second and goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. Tunga Bailoa. And this is caught. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins get it back to within 2 possessions. Tyreek Hill the touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate.
Yep.
You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Fielded just shy of the end zone. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Daniels. Short pass brought in. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 31. And the Dolphins are there to bring him down. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Some guys, you just have to account for them, especially middle linebackers. I remember Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, it just felt like their presence took up the entire field. And this linebacker today, well, he had the interception earlier, a sack right now. You've got to start figuring out a plan for him, or he will take over this game.
The Dolphins with an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming. Throwing now, Daniels. It's taken in by Eckler. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
The Commanders ready for the punt. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. The visitors and this running back headed back out for a new series. And those legs must be tired, but he ain't stopping, Brock. Not with the type of game that he's been having for himself on the ground. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Tua off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Following the play, we have an injured commander. The training staff out there to check on him as we pause. All right, here we go. Second down. Another try following the sack. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got third down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Tua looking to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Trying to find Jalen Waddle. And that brings up 4th and long. A quick 3 plays, Brock, and we have arrived at 4th down just like that as he comes through with some contact to break up what looked like a catch.
Hey, guess what, Kate? These guys aren't getting paid by the down defensively. They want to get themselves off the field in as few snaps as possible, and there was no way they were letting this drive extend beyond a 3-and-out.
And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Robinson up the middle. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Staying with Robinson. And he's stopped down at the 16 after a small gain. Give him 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Daniels. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. Jordan Brooks comes up with it. And the Dolphins have some new life in the 4th. Oh, man, Brock, they decided to air it out in pursuit of a touchdown that time, but it's intercepted, and the visit to the red zone comes up empty.
And that one stings, Kate. It really does. You have a limited opportunity to look in that close, particularly as we get through the second half. The ones you get, you have to finish with points.
The Miami offense headed out there now. And they're very fortunate the turnover on downs and short field did not lead to points. They can thank their defense by putting a scoring drive together right now. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Tua now from the gun. A quick slant caught by Washington. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 1st down, Miami.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
They kick the running back in motion. Completes this one to Hill. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Achan reels it in. And he's out of bounds, just a step short of the 40. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
First down, Tagovailoa to throw. This is caught by Jalen Waddle. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
Going play action, Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Washington. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
Sticking to the air, it's Tagovailoa. Hits his running back. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of fourth down.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference, they pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort, getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday.
And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Commanders are stopped and are going to have the football out beyond their own 30. Well, no doubt there was some doom and gloom on the sideline following their interception, right? But a little bit of new life now as their defense picks them up, gets it right back for them.
Hey, I am all for a nice little game of one-upmanship between these two defenses. You picked our guy off, fine. We'll answer right away. See how you follow that up.
Out comes the Commander offense for another series. And you know that interception is in the back of their minds as they head back out there now. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Another carry for Robinson. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down. So after the 2-minute warning, another stoppage here. The defense is calling time. 1:55 to go. New set of downs for him from the 46. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's going to get him up to the midfield stripe with that run. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. Second and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. The Dolphins choosing to spend their final time out here. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Second down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. First carry now for Austin Eckler. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Moving in the right direction that time, but only 2 yards picked up, so it's 3rd and 9. Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
They'll send out the punting unit. It'll be Tress Way doing the honors. And it can't hurt you with the return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. So score this as a win for the Commanders. They did their part, Brock, defending the home field, using that advantage to secure the victory. We know home field advantage is a real thing. And the crowd, they did their part too, adding to just an awesome atmosphere, helping energize those players at big moments of today's ball game.
Yeah, it is super fun to win on the road. I'm not going to lie, to quiet the crowd. But you know what's even better? When you get to celebrate with your family, your friends, your hometown people, your community, and you know, more importantly, they played a role as that extra voice in that building, man. It is a rewarding feeling.